Hello and welcome to Science Unlocked, a special episode of Saviour's Voice on the occasion of National Science Day. I'm your host, Advika Kuntal, and we're celebrating the spirit of scientific curiosity and innovation. National Science Day is celebrated every year on 28th February to commemorate the discovery of the Raman effect by Sir C.V. Raman and to highlight the importance of science in our daily lives. The theme for National Science Day 2026 is Women in Science Catalyzing Viksit Bharat. And to celebrate the same, joining me is Dr. Yojana Singh, a retired senior scientific officer G at Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Throughout her career, ma'am has been involved in research production and marketing of life-saving radiopharmaceuticals. She is the recipient of 4 Group Achievement Awards initiated by DAE. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you on the
Thank
show.
you.
Ma'am, thanks for being here. For our listeners, could you briefly introduce yourself and your role at BARC?
Well, good morning, everybody. It is my privilege to be here to say a few word about my work and about myself today. Basically, I grew up in Anushakti Nagar, where we have Bhabha Atomic Research Center unit, and most of our people around were all engineers, doctors only. So we got a very good surrounding as to study and always think that tomorrow we will also become scientists or engineers. Fortunately, at that time, we didn't have this modern technology like your mobile, PC, TV had just started. So we had ample time to think, study, as well as, play a lot. So from health point of view, whether it was mental health or physical, mental health was never a problem because nobody knew this mental kind of a thing at that time. So we grew up in that kind of atmosphere, and most of my batch people, they went into IIT, medical, science. So I took up science because unfortunately I could not get into medical by just few marks, and my parents had wished that I should have the word DR in front of my name. So when I joined DAE, I saw that I should do my PhD and fulfill my parents' wish. Now, I did my BSc and MSc in organic chemistry, and I was a distinction holder in Bombay University. That time it was Bombay University, not Mumbai University. And then I joined BARC, that is Bhabha Research Center. And we are always grateful and thankful to Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, who initiated the nuclear program and is called the father of nuclear program in India in early 50s. And because of that, today most of the scientists are having a very respectful life. Like, even after retirement, we are in a very good position. So I joined there because as a female, I got a lot of offers from private company. But my father was that since you're a lady, and this I'm talking 40 years back, you have to take care of the house also. So if you want to pursue your passion of doing something in science as well as looking after the house, take up a government job. So I took up this, and I cleared all my interviews and everything, and I was taken in BRC. And after about 2 years, we were transferred to Board of Radiation and Isotope Technology, because at Board of Radiation Isotope Technology, which is called as BRIT, it's part of DA. See, DA is the main unit, and there to the DA, BRC reports, BRIT reports, TRF reports, all the other units of in India like RRCAT and other things, they all report to DA. So DA is the main head over there. So at BRIT, we were working on developing kits as an immunologist to study and estimate the hormones present in our blood. Now, these hormones are very important to maintain the proper physiological functions of our body, like your T3, T4 hormones of your thyroid, your fertility hormones for proper fertilization, all those things. So how to estimate them? Because they are present in a nanogram level, that is 10 raised to minus 9 grams. So using radioactivity as one of the part, we developed the kits, and we could study and estimate these hormones. After some time, I went into another department which was called as radiopharmaceutical department. Now, by the word radiopharmaceutical, is pharmaceutical means medicine, and radio means radioactivity. So radioactivity labeled to the pharmacy is called as radiopharmaceutical. Now we use a lot of medical radioisotopes to prepare this. So this was in short. So when you ask me next, I can reply more in detail about our work in my department. So this is my journey from being a student from KG to 12th, studied in atomic energy, then did my graduation, went to my Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and then to Board of Radiation and Isotope Technology, BRIT, which is situated in Turbhe, Navi Mumbai.
That's fascinating, ma'am. Your journey shows how curiosity and determination can truly shape a meaningful career.
Absolutely.
Now, please tell us about BARC's role in India's development and the kind of research you have been involved in.
See, when we talk about DRC, so whole unit of Department of Atomic Energy, that is called in short DA, comes. So under DA we have BRC, we have RRCAT, we have other units where a lot of work is going on for the research in the kind. And as you all know, DA, Department of Atomic Energy. So word atomic energy means we are using radioactivity for the research purpose. Now here what we need is a radioisotope. Now radioisotopes are not easily available on a shelf or any shop. It is, or to say, produced in nuclear reactor. Nuclear reactor is a reactor where we have a control chain reaction of your product, and whatever we need, whichever radioisotope we need, we prepare a target, it is put in the reactor, and from the reactor the byproduct is what we need. Okay, so it is controlled, it is never go haywire. So it is a controlled chain reaction. Now next will be what is uncontrolled chain reaction. So uncontrolled chain reaction is nothing but atomic bomb. Okay, so in atomic bomb we don't have any control, so it just blasts, and the blasting is in within a second. But here control reaction means these isotopes are used for research, for medical purpose, for use in agriculture, for use in industry, and for use of other area where they need it to study any path of your reaction or research. So depending upon what is your requirement, you tell the people in the that particular reactor group, and they will, accordingly they'll prepare the target, and then they will give you the isotope. Now in BRIT, where I work, there we are into nuclear medicine. Now nuclear medicine is what? Like any other department in medicine. For example, you have gynec, you have opthel, you have pediatric. So you have a nuclear medicine. Nuclear medicine means whatever diagnosis, therapy, anything we do is using the radioactivity. That's why the word nuclear comes. And medicine means something to study, to diagnose, to treat. So here what we do is we have studied and developed certain medical radioisotopes. Now there are hundreds of radioisotopes, but we have to select which is best for the treatment of the patient. So they are called as medical radioisotopes. So we have studied them, we have arrived that these few radioisotopes are good for us. For example, iodine-131. Iodine-131 has a half-life of 8 days. Then you have lutetium-177, which has a half-life of 7 days. Now these radioisotopes are labeled with a chemical compound, that is medicine. As I told, radiopharmaceutical. Radio means radioactivity. So whichever radioactivity you want to select, you select that. This is combined with the medicine, that is a cold. it doesn't have any radiation, whereas the radioactivity has the radiation. And that is made at the hospital end under sterile condition and injected to the patient intravenously by the specialized doctor who know how to handle radioactive compounds. So here we do not have any other doctor handling nuclear medicine. Only the trained doctors are taken here. Now, depending upon you want to diagnose a patient or you want to treat a patient, we select the radioisotope. Now, if I just want to diagnose that, is that person suffering from any cancer? Where is the cancer? How far it has reached? Or you just want to study the function of the organ. For example, you want to know how your heart is functioning, how your kidney is functioning. So there what we do is, we select those radioisotope which only emits gamma radiation and no other alpha or beta. So basically there are three types of radiation: alpha, beta, gamma. Now as you all know, alpha, beta are not good, harmful. Gamma is the best. So gamma, like how you take your x-ray, the same way gamma takes. So it goes into the body and you can take a scan under a gamma camera and see where you have cancer, if you have, how much it has spread. So your diagnosis is so precise that doctor don't lose any time to treat the patient. Now once the diagnosis is done, the next step is treatment. So here in BRIT, we prepare radiopharmaceuticals which are used for diagnosis as well as used for therapy. Now once the diagnosis is done, next step is therapy. Now as I said, alpha, beta are harmful. So if we want to kill the cancer cells, we have to use these radiations. Now depending upon what type of cancer you have and what type of patient you have, you select your radioisotope. Okay. Now for example, you want to kill something, so you use iodine-131 which has a beta. So using the beta, you give the solution to the patient. Beta means iodine-131 whenever you have any thyroid cancer. So the patient is given a solution, it goes into it and it starts emitting beta radiation and starts killing the cancer cells. Now these medicines, they are organ specific. Whichever organ you want to study or whichever organ you want to treat, that radiopharmaceutical will go to that organ only, because we do not want to harm the patient in any way. I want to study liver, I select that particular medicine which goes to the liver. If I want to study bone, I will select that particular medicine which goes to the bone. So they are organ specific. So once you give the treatment, the patient is made to stay in the hospital because you have given a very high dose of iodine. So once you give very high dose of any radioactive, the patient becomes a source. Okay, radioactive source. So he cannot move in a public domain. So he is made to stay in the hospital, and after the dose level comes down, then he is released from the hospital. So at BRIT, we prepare these radiopharmaceutical every week because these radiopharmaceutical have a very short half-life of few hours to few days. So our production is every week. So on Saturday we supply, Sunday all the hospitals all over India, they get their radiopharmaceutical, and from Monday they start using these radiopharmaceuticals. So this is the kind of work we do in our place. Along with that, we do a lot of research because we have to come out with new groups so that we can detect the cancer faster or we can treat the cancer in a more faster way.
It's amazing to see how nuclear research goes beyond energy and positively impacts healthcare.
Yeah.
Let's continue with your journey. What inspired you to choose science as a career?
Now, as I said, I was staying in Anushakti Nagar, and from the child, initially Anushakti Nagar, I am talking in 70s and 80s. So it was like a frog in the well. So we were never exposed to the other areas of Bombay. We were, very secluded in one side of the Bombay. So as I told you, there were no technology, no awareness. TV had just started. So we were only observing our people who were working my daddy, who also retired as a senior scientist, my uncles who were staying there. So we were observing that they go in the morning, they do their work, come back in the evening, and they had so much of time that they could spend with their family, sit with their children. So, this kind of a very simple life, maybe at that time, we were very fascinated by the simple life. So, that was the reason that I thought either I become a scientist or I become an engineer. But my this direction was more towards the science rather than engineering, because maybe at that time engineering was more for the boys. Girls, very few girls, maybe 1,000 में शायद 2-3 ही girls जाती होंगी. तो that aspiration was not that I have to become an engineer. So science was something we said that yes, it's good where we do our research, we do our work, and we come back home to lead a normal life also. So that was the reason why I choose science, and fortunately I got very good ambience. We got very good direction from our elders and people around, unlike today where we have lot of many other branches. So it has just exploded with so many branches and so many ideas to take participate. But that time they were very few. So either we go here or we go there, not much, or medical. So there were not much choices. But I'm happy with my choice. I'm leading a very good life, and I almost every day thank Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, who gave us all our people who are working this particular field all over India to be very happy with the work, and our contribution to the country's growth is quite immense. And today it has been recognized that nuclear power plays a very important role in any developed countries. So we are the one of the seventh country in the world to have such nuclear programs in the world.
Safety is crucial in nuclear research. How does BARC ensure that?
It is not only BRC, but wherever we have nuclear plants or nuclear reactor. See, in India, we have only one working nuclear reactor called as Dhruva reactor, which is situated in BARC. Rest of the places we have NPCIL, which are having about 25 units running to produce electricity. So basically everywhere you have nuclear reaction taking place. Now, main thing is that we have to select the area where we can build the nuclear reactor. For example, it should not be on the seismic zone, that is, earthquake should not be there. Also, it should be near the sea, because a lot of heat is generated, so we need the cooling part of it. So most of the reactors, not most, all the reactors are situated near the sea or a river, big rivers. So that is another point. Secondly, it should be little away from the public domain. And thirdly is that the rules and regulations are followed to T. We do not skip any rules or any error. We cannot afford to make any error while making the reactor. Now in the reactor, there is a core of the reactor where the nuclear reaction takes place, where we keep our target. For example, most of the reactions is based on uranium-235. From uranium-235, when the neutrons are bombarded, you have many of the other radioisotopes along with the neutrons and energy. Now this energy which is generated, it is sent into the turbines move and it generates the electricity. And the cooling is simultaneously taking place from the seawater. So this particular thing is taking place. Now the storage of uranium or any other nuclear reactive isotope or target is kept inside the water, because that is a safe place, and inside the core. The reaction will not start until we don't bombard with neutron. It needs neutron to be added. So whenever we have any reaction to take place or we need the production of radioisotopes, then the targets are selected, they are put on the core, and the reaction takes place. Now all this is built within a system that everything has one layer, two layer, 3 layer, 4 layer, 5 layers. So we have a very thick wall of almost 3 meters of the wall of any reactor. The cores are kept, the control rods are kept inside the water. Control rods are which controls the reaction. So until you don't bring them up, the reaction will not take place. So it's always kept in the water. And all these reactions, everything is in a very disciplined way. So once we need to do, the team of nuclear scientists, they work on it and they carry out all the reaction. Now in case of power energy, where we generate electricity, it is almost 24 into 7 kind of a thing. So we have all the engineers working in the shift wise, and there we produce electricity and it goes to the grid, and as and when required, the current is given to the residential area, to industry, other thing. So we take a lot of precaution so that nothing happens to the uh, reactors. And fortunately, we started somewhere in 54 was the first reactor, Apsara. From that time till today, by God's grace, no accidents have taken place in India, and safety is first priority whenever we are dealing with any nuclear reactor. Unfortunately, yes, we had some few accidents in past, like Chernobyl or Fukushima in Japan, but that one cannot avoid, in the sense nobody expected that this kinds of accidents, because like in 2011 Fukushima happened. Unfortunately, God wanted something else. So you have the earthquake as well as tsunami, both came together. Otherwise, we take care of everything. So we have the walls, we have the systems where the earthquake and other thing. Because if something happens, the whole reaction or anything is shut down immediately. That kind of a thing we have. So everything has its own this. We have so many industries where some accidents do take place, but nuclear reactors, we have to be more careful because it will affect a large part of people. For example, other places if some burning takes place, something burns, finish. But when a nuclear reactor का कुछ भी problem होती है, तो generations suffer, like what happened in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, or in Chernobyl. Even now, people cannot stay there. So this is a major effect that we have to not only see this generation, we have to see the next generation also. So nothing should happen, so that we take a lot of care when safety comes. That is a major priority.
That is reassuring to hear, ma'am. It shows how responsibility and science go hand in hand.
Yeah.
What are the new career options in science for this generation of students who wish to pursue research?
See, research means Bhabha Atomic Research Center. So basically, it is a research center. Now, many of these places like RRCAT, Raja Ramanna Center for Advanced Technology and all, they are basically research is taking place. And now, once we develop particular technology, it is transferred to a group in BRC called as TTCD, that is Transfer Technology Group, where they transfer the technology, whatever we have developed at BRC or other units, and they take care of the whole system. Once we transfer the technology to the industry, we take care of it, we help them to regulate, and that is a very important part here. But since BRC or other units are only research, the commercial part is taken by BRIT, Board of Radiation Technology, because we make the production, we sell it out. So we are the commercial unit along with the research. So our main mandate is not research but production, but others are only research. So using the radioactivity, how we can develop new products, so it is useful to the the mankind for the societal benefit. So what you can do is that, see, science is not only a subject, it is something we live every day. Okay, and everything is science. This is how it grows is a science, how this table is made is a science, how my body works is a science. Everything is science. So if you have an innovative thoughtfulness, science is a very good subject where you can really branch out, because science is a combination of many subjects like physics, chemistry, biology, biotechnology, bioengineering. Now so many things have come out. So nowadays mostly it is a combination of 2 or 3 subjects which can be used to create anything new. For example, biotechnology. Initially we had biochemistry, now we have biotechnology, bioengineering. So you're combining engineering with biology so that you can come up with something good. So science is where, if you have little bit love and you have an analytical idea, then you can do wonders in science by selecting whatever field you like. If you like physics, you can become a good physicist. Biology, you can become a big biologist. Chemistry means it's a big chemist you can become. So using anything, you can take up the science. So whether you, how this is made, cotton, how cotton is made, polymers, using the plastics. So everywhere, whatever thought comes to you, science is there. And if you like something there, you can do a lot of research, because research is a continuous process. It cannot stop at one point. Whatever happened 100 years back, we have evolved so much. How? Because research has been taking place. So we are, whatever was made there, either we have evolved or used that as a base and developed into a new technique or new product. So it is a continuous process where we have to see that the process continues and we keep evolving with time and the needs of the people. See, today first few years back, we needed plastic. Okay, so polyethylene, polyurethane, so many things came up. But today we are scared of plastics. So we are trying to replace it. Now how to replace? Either by paper. Now if you go for paper, you're cutting the trees. Again, you're harming the environment. So how can you use the present system to either evolve that or to completely remove that and come up with something new? So in plastic now they are going into, I think it's a very smaller microns, where we can either degrade them by some methods or we can burn them. See, burning is also, you're harming the environment. So we are coming up with something new where we have a societal benefit, because plastic is something harmful for everybody all over the world. So if you have a very thoughtful mind, you can always come up something new. So research and science go hand in hand, and keep thinking, keep evolving with time for the benefit of mankind.
Science truly offers limitless opportunities today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
National Science Day is all about inspiring the next generation. What is your message for the students today?
28th February is celebrated as Sir C.V. Raman's 1938 Nobel Prize winning. He got it for Raman effect. If I explain Raman effect in a 2-line, it is, how the light changes the direction with the system around. Like why the sky looks blue, why the sea water looks blue, why this looks green. So that was the basis, and he really did a lot of proud to us. Unfortunately, we have not got any more Nobel Prize, though we have best of the people. So I think youngsters should take that particular thing, that let's do something that they can make India proud by getting Nobel Prize. As I told you, the science is not just a subject, it is something to do with your innovative ideas, your curiosity. For example, you should ask why this leaf is green here, right back, how it is taking the water up. Okay, the curiosity should be there. Why the lower vehicle, when they have an accident, gets hurt more when you use a big vehicle? Because of the momentum and the weight, Newton's second law. So that curiosity should be there. Why this is burning like this? Ask question. Why? How? What if? These kinds of questions are very important, and I think so this one should build not only the school, the parents should also take this responsibility of generating a curiosity in the child. Make the child, instead of handing over the mobile, you hand over some paper. Okay, now make a boat. Okay, draw a tree. He may be 5-year-old or a 7-year-old or 10-year-old. A 5-year-old may just draw like this, a tree, around. 7-year may make something like round. A 10-year may make a branches and a stamp and other things. The curiosity is because what he observes. If he has seen a tree, he knows how he has to draw that tree. Observation is also very important, to develop your brain. Observe why, how it is working, how the water is taken up by the plants. You have xylem, phloem, other things, how it takes up. Okay? What is inertia? See, you're sleeping. Your mother comes and wakes you up. Get up. So you're in inertia. Your mother uses the force. That is first law of Newton. So try to explain the principles using the common examples by which the child understands. That's very important. Okay? Now third law, equal and opposite. आपने मेरे को थप्पड़ मारा, मैंने आपको थप्पड़ मारा. That is Newton's third law, because it is a reaction. Equal and opposite direction reaction. Same thing goes with chemistry. How NaCl gets mixed in the water. How much NaCl you can add. Tell the child, go on adding salt. He will go on adding, maybe it's 100 ml water. A point will come where the solution is not clear. You will have some NaCl. That means it has reached its saturation. So what is the saturation level? Okay. Now the fire is burning. You sprinkle some NaCl. वहाँ से you get sparks. Why? Moisture है. NaCl में moisture है. बरसात में नमक क्यों खराब हो जाता है? Because it absorbs moisture. Tell these small things in the house to the children, so they develop this kind of curiosity and innovative thoughts in his mind to do something good later on. Because once the principles and other things are clear, it is easy for him to grasp science. So it can be physics, chemistry, biology. अब आपका इसरो में देखो जाता है रॉकेट ऊपर जाता है, कैसे जाता है? सिंपल टर्म्स में, जैसे प्लेन चलता है, ठीक है, लेकिन प्लेन ऐसे जाता है, रॉकेट ऐसे जाता है. क्यों जाता है ऐसे? आपको बताना है कि क्यों ऐसे स्ट्रेट जाता है. इट डजंट हैव टू ट्रैवल on the earth surface, just to escape the earth. So escape the earth means you have to calculate the escape velocity. कितनी velocity रखे के ऊपर जाए. फ्यूल जो यूज होता है, मैक्सिमम कंजम्पशन ऑफ फ्यूल कब होता है? When it is starting. उसके बाद तो it is only sustaining. ठीक है? And 1 layer, 2 layer करके गिरता जाएगा every layer, and at last you have if you want to launch a satellite, वो satellite उस particular orbit में वो छोड़ देता है, and it goes around the earth. Okay, and you can monitor. आज हम लोग जो टीवी देखते हैं, मोबाइल देखते हैं, बात करते हैं, it is all through satellite. Thanks to satellite, that communications has become very easy. Within a second, you can reach to other country, to your friends, everybody. So that kind of curiosity, if ISRO is launching the plan, make your child sit. देखो, वो ऊपर जा रहा है, ये क्या है? रॉकेट है. रॉकेट में क्या होता है? किस लिए यूज होता है रॉकेट? हम नॉर्मल उसमें यूज करते नहीं. किस लिए यूज करते हैं? हम सैटेलाइट यूज करते हैं. सैटेलाइट लॉन्च करने के लिए यूज करते हैं, या वहाँ पर हम लोग जो इंटरनेशनल स्पेस सेंटर है, वहाँ पर हम लोग एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करते हैं. तो ये बच्चों को तुम बताओ, उनको बड़ी खुशी होगी. जो छोटा बच्चा होगा 5-10 साल का, अच्छा ये रॉकेट जा रहा है, प्लेन कैसे उड़ता है? उसको बोलो बेटा आप प्लेन में उड़े हो ना, कैसे उड़ता है? टेल हिम ये विंग्स क्या हैं, ये क्या करती हैं विंग्स. तो वो क्यूरियोसिटी आप बच्चे में डेवलप करो. एंड आई थिंक दैट टुडे विथ सो मच ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी इनोवेशंस गोइंग ऑन, it is not difficult to teach a child about anything. इवन 5 साल के बच्चों को बहुत अवेयरनेस है. सो यूज दिस टेक्नोलॉजी इन अ बेटर वे रादर देन उसको एक मोबाइल पकड़ा दिया, वो देखता रहेगा. वो समझे नहीं समझे अलग थे, वो देखता रहेगा. तो उसको वो थॉट प्रोसेस नहीं आएगा कि ये क्यों है क्या. तो मेक हिम डू समथिंग, आजकल इतने गेम्स हैं, इतने सारे चीज़ें अवेलेबल हैं. पर उसके लिए पेरेंट्स को भी एफर्ट्स लगाना पड़ता है. बट पेरेंट्स, I don't know, it is easy for me to say because my son has become big. पेरेंट्स से हम पैसा कमाते हैं कि हम बच्चों को अच्छी एजुकेशन दें, अच्छी लाइफ दें. बट बच्चों को आप क्या लाइफ दे रहे हो? कुछ नहीं दे रहे हो. ठीक है ना. एंड बच्चे को आजकल ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है, इतने स्मार्ट हैं टुडेज किड्स दैट you can make them learn many things. Unlike us, we were not aware of many things. We learned when we reached 15-16 साल 20 साल के, then we came to know so many things. But today, if you must have seen when AI summit was going on, there was one boy. कितने साल का था वो? You know, he was hardly 12 years, 10 or 12 years boy. And so well he was talking. वो क्यों बोल रहा था? क्योंकि उसने ये देखा, उसको लगा कि इट इज़ यूजफुल, मैं उसको पढ़ूं. AI को गया, उसने समझा. सो ही वॉज एबल टू एक्सप्लेन टू यू सो वेल. आई थिंक हम लोग भी इतना नहीं जितना उसने बोला. सो ऐसा नहीं कि बच्चों को कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. दे कैन डू इट, बट वी हैव टू मेक एफर्ट्स. सो आई डोंट नो, समवेयर parents have to make efforts, and I don't expect the teachers today. Teachers are overloaded with work. Our teachers, पढ़ा दिया, they go home, khatam. Today I find teachers are overloaded with the subjects. So what is happening is that even if teacher wants to explain them clearly or demonstrate some simple experiments to show the principle, they don't have any time. So they go to classes. तो child is also so helpless कि पहले वो स्कूल में पढ़े, फिर वो क्लासेस में जाए या ट्यूशन्स में जाए, तो उसकी जो क्यूरियोसिटी है, टायर्डनेस ख़त्म हो जाती है. सो आई डोंट नो, सम चेंजेस हैव टू टेक प्लेस. दे हैव टू रिमूव सर्टन चैप्टर्स विच आर नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, सो दैट यू हैव लिमिटेड चैप्टर्स, सो यू कैन एक्सप्लेन द चाइल्ड वेरी वेल. दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड द लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, never be afraid of failure. Failure is something which makes you go closer to the truth. The best example is Thomas Alva Edison. Some journalist asked him, "Sir, you came out with the bulb, but 1,000 times you repeated, you never got it." He said, "No. Now I know how not to make 1,000 times bulb and make the right kind of product." So failure is, one should not get scared of failure. One should not feel bad about it. You should not feel कोई तुमको कुछ भी बोल रहा है. Don't be scared. Be good to yourself. Be truth self जो होता ना एक of yourself. That is very important. So develop these small things right from the beginning, so that once you reach 9th or 10th or 11th and 12th, which is your time where you have to select your career, you are fully prepared कि भाई मुझे क्या लेना है. And once you know what you want, not the others have forced you, you will do the best. So maybe tomorrow any one of us can get the Nobel Prize and make Dr. C.V. Raman proud. So that's my take back for the children.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words are truly inspiring and will definitely motivate students and their parents to pursue science with confidence and curiosity.
Welcome. It was my privilege, and thanks for having me here.
Dr. Yojana Singh, thank you so much for sharing your insights. To our audience, thanks for tuning into this special episode. Follow us for more such informative episodes and insights. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning. Goodbye.